U.S. #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. We're looking for your phone calls this morning. The numbers to join us on the program here locally, 402-558-1110. If you're outside of the metro area, 888-250-2091 will get you into the program. As we do every week, we'll give away a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Good for anything your heart desires over at the service center. You basically just gets added to your account as a credit, and then it sits there until you need it. So it's kind of nice, and all we ask is that you give us a call, make a comment, ask a question, be a part of the program, because the callers make the show. Trust me, guys, I can talk for an hour, but easy. But when you have callers calling in and asking the questions, a lot of people don't realize they think their question is silly, or they think that their question doesn't isn't important, or isn't complex enough. Well, when you have a situation like that, guys, the thing you have to remember is that your problem is the same problem that a lot of other people are having. And you're just the only person who is brave enough to call in and ask the question. And so you're actually doing a service to your fellow man by calling Compute This. All right, so because you all want to hear this, and I'm sure that this is something that's on everybody's mind, it is 14 days until Christmas. Let that sink in for just a moment. 14 days, and I'm not talking business days. I'm talking 14 sunrises and sunsets, my friends, until Christmas Day. Not Christmas Eve, until Christmas Day. Crazy, right? Where did the time go? So I get a memo from a memo. Who gets memos anymore? I got an email. I have a memorandum. I got a message from my staff, and they're like, Thor, we've got 14 holiday special laptops left that are not assigned to customers at this point. Can you get more? Not really. Not at that price. That's the whole. You might remember in November, I was saying, wow, this is crazy. The holiday special laptops are selling so fast. This is insanity. And then here we are, in December with the results of that, meaning we usually make it to Christmas Eve. In fact, I've told the story about people coming in on Christmas Eve and wanting to buy the display models because they need something to buy and take home. And, at this point, we may not have display models on Christmas Eve. We have 14 computers left and 14 days until Christmas. And we're selling more than one a day. I can tell you that for sure. So if the holiday special desktop, a little bit different story. We have those in stock. We think we have about 42 of those remaining total. So I think we're going to be okay there through the end of the year. But the laptops, if you're looking for the holiday special laptop, if it's something you've been considering, I'm not a hurry up and move. This isn't like a hard sell kind of thing. I'm just telling you we have 14 left. And so if you wanted one, I would strongly encourage you to either come into the service center, take a look at one, decide if it's the right laptop for you, or just jump on SchrockInnovations.com and buy it, because we have 14 left. So you can check the status of that over at SchrockInnovations.com as well, where you can see all of the the quantities of what we have in stock and stuff like that. Once again, 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. If you did miss last week's program, it was a great show, if I do say so myself. Well, there was a lot of callers that kind of made it a great show. But you can pick that up over at SchrockInnovations.com as well. Click on radio show there. Last week, we kind of shared a funny story about a secret shopper. We secret shop ourselves. So, my ops manager will get friends or family members or whatever to come into the shop with a computer and then have services done to it. And, they pay for the services and we reimburse them. So our staff never knows who the secret shoppers are. And so the secret shoppers come in and we have them check all kinds of stuff, like were you greeted properly? Was your computer carried out for you? Just stuff like that. So the secret shopper comes in with a broken down computer, wanting to get it, looked at. And getting it looked at, but they know they're going to get it all fixed for free. So there should be no reason for them to say no to anything that's offered, because they're going to get it all for free, whatever they need. Except this customer was so impressed by the holiday special that she decided not to fix her computer for free and bought a holiday special out of her own pocket instead. You know you got a good product win, right? I mean, that's insanity. I mean, it's like, yeah, you can get your whole thing fixed for free. Here you go. Or now, see, last week I told this story, and then a bunch of people were like, "How can I become a secret shopper?" You know, I want to. And then my wife asked the all-important question: is she expecting you to Venmo her the money back for her holiday special? Like, is she going to get that for free? And I'm like, no. Limited quantity on those. We can't do that all day long. We also brought you some information about what's been interesting. Of course, every year the PC is dead, and then miraculously, just like Easter Sunday, it rises again every single time. Well, guess what? The PC got a new lease on life because of the pandemic and all those pandemic-era computers that you've got laying around right now that you pushed into service in 2020 and 2021. These residential computers that are being used to do business-grade or business-intensity work that they're not built to do, well, they're dying, and they're wearing out, and they're slowing down. We're seeing it in the service center all the time on repair work. But as a result, people are buying new computers, and we're seeing that. I'm talking about the holiday specials, of course, but we're seeing it across the board in all the lines of computers that we have, and we're seeing it more so in the Papillion Service Center than we're seeing it in other service centers, and that is significant because they just closed the Best Buy near Papillion. So pretty much the only box store you can go to in Papillion and buy a computer anymore is Walmart. And if you want an Acer from Walmart, you know, God bless you. God bless you, Tiny Tim. Oh, you're going to limp on off into the sunset. But no, you don't want an Acer from Walmart. But if you were going to do that, that's where you could go. So we're seeing an uptick in the sale of standard computers, which tells me, especially if we're seeing it in Papillion, where the selection of service providers is smaller, that this is not just a Schrock trend. It's not just because we have awesome computers, right? It's because, in general, people are buying more computers this holiday season. Part of that is because there isn't really any new tech out. Try to buy a piece of new technology for someone. Everything is an incremental increase this year. Have you noticed that? Like, your TVs are just a little bit bigger, or the Apple Watch is just a little bit longer on the battery, or your phone is just a little bit faster. Nothing is like... Do you remember like when you had a Palm Pilot, you got your first iPhone? We don't have that. And then Apple, you know, they've got their vision goggles that look like giant ski goggles that nobody's going to wear, and you're pinching the air in front of you, and it's just dumb. But, you know, whatever. It's got its place in its time, I suppose. But ZDNet called that one of the revolutionary technological gadgets of 2023. And I'm thinking, and they're talking about how everyone's going to be pinching the air in front of them all the time. And like, don't. At least half the people won't because they don't have Apple products. You know, they have Android. So at least half the people won't be pinching the air. You know, the other big one was, of course, was ChatGPT and things like that. So, you know, this year we're noticing that that increase in computer spending is probably the result of people having computers that are wearing out, and rather than buying the next greatest gadget that's better than the one they already have, they're buying a replacement for a gadget that's wearing out. And you know, maybe they're buying the holiday special, but maybe they're also buying, you know, a more moderately priced computer with less specifications as well. So we're seeing it across the board. So that was kind of interesting. We discussed that last week as well. Yeah, literally, guys, when I'm talking about the computer increase, I just saw my note here. It's literally double what we were selling last year in computers in Papillion. It's double. So it is a significant trend that I'm sure other providers are seeing as well. I also told you about the Doritos Crunch Canceller. That one was fun. The concept behind this is it uses artificial intelligence to cancel the crunches of your Doritos and your microphone input. So if you're a gamer and you're playing a game and you're on like a group chat or you're in a Zoom call, you can mute your camera, like turn off your camera, eat your Doritos, and the Doritos Crunch Canceller will take the crunch sounds out of the audio so that you can, you know, munch without having the guilt of chomping in people's ears. We also updated you on Drive Advisor a little bit and told you about yet another iOS update. So there was quite a bit on the show last week. So if you missed it, it's available SchrockInnovations.com. Also, last week I'm going to mention this because it's not worth more than a mention at this point. Schrock got invited to be a part of Facebook's new bonuses program, where you get monetarily rewarded when your viewers and your people, we're broadcasting right now at facebook.com/SchrockInnovations. You can watch the show live there. And so if you click like and you click follow and you share it and you like people's comments and all that stuff, you know, Schrock Innovations can get a monetary stipend, basically, from Facebook for driving all that traffic. My thought is we could then use that monetary stipend to create even more cool traffic for the Facebook page. That's what I would like to do with it. But, unfortunately, I did the digital equivalent of standing on the street corner with the anything will help sign in my left hand and a hat in my right hand turned upside down, okay? And I was collecting likes and clicks. I was begging people to do it just to see what would happen. Let's go. If we go full tilt, what's going to happen? So we went full tilt, guys, not only for the main program, but for the aftershock as well. Full tilt. Did a 2.5-hour aftershock just to make sure everybody had plenty of time to click those buttons. And we made $1. $1. All that work you guys did, $1. So, as a result, I've determined that this is not a program, unless you're Paris Hilton with 50 million followers or something, and we're a little shy of that. You're probably not going to earn any kind of significant stipend from the bonuses program, and it expires every 30 days. So if you don't get to $100 within 30 days, you lose it. So it's not even like you can accumulate it and maybe get a Christmas bonus at the end of the year. Nope, doesn't even work that way. So so I still very much appreciate your likes and your shares. But now, today, you only have to click like on comments that you actually like. Let's put it that way. If you disagree with someone, you don't have to like it. 402-558-1110 is the number to join us on the program. Outside the metro area, 888-250-2091. I've talked a little bit before we go to break here about the holiday special this morning a little, and it occurs to me that, I'm just assuming you all know what it is. And I do that a lot now. I mean, we've been doing this show for over 20 years, guys. And we've had, some of you have been with us the entire time. And as a result, we start talking about things, and I'm like, oh, we've talked about that. And I have to remember that every time that, we get behind the microphone, there are new people listening. There are new people joining the program that haven't been here before. And they're like, it's a holiday special? Is that like a Black Friday thing or a Cyber Monday thing, or what is that? The holiday special, guys, quite simply, is the biggest, baddest, most advanced computer that you can buy anywhere at an unbelievable price. It's $15.99 for the computer. Now, it's desktop or laptop. And when I say desktop, I mean it's the full Anchorito. You get the tower, you get the monitor, you get the keyboard, the mouse, the speakers are built in, the whole bit. So it's a complete package, a complete prize, if you will. And, it's only $15.99. Now, if you built the same computer, the same desktop computer at Dell.com, which we did at the start of the sale for illustrative purposes, it was over $3,000. The laptop, as well, is literally unavailable at any price in the specification that we're offering it. You can't buy a laptop that's got, the amount of memory, the 40 gigs of RAM, for real. I mean, who has 40 gigs of RAM in a laptop? Or a 2 terabyte hard drive in a laptop. Not just a 2 terabyte hard drive, but the fastest 2 terabyte hard drive that we've ever put in a laptop. I mean, there's some phenomenal stuff happening with these computers, and that's why they're so popular. A lot of people go to buy computers, and we see this in the shop, like I mentioned in Papillion. People will come in and they say, Thor, it's a great computer. I'm sure it's a great deal, but I don't need that. I don't need to buy a computer that's got that much horsepower. I just need a regular computer that I can do regular things. I check Facebook and do my email and, maybe some genealogy or something. Nothing much. So I just need a basic computer. Give me that $700 computer over there. And, that's fine for some people. But the logic behind the holiday special, and I want you to take this, if you're not going to buy a computer from Schrock this holiday season, if you are going to go get the Acer from Walmart for, whatever reason, if you're going to go do that, people always buy computers based on what they need today. Look at what you were doing 5 years ago with your computer and ask yourself, did you ever think you would have an artificial intelligence chat assistant built into Windows? That's what Copilot is, and Windows 11 users all have it now. You have ChatGPT on your flipping desktop. You have generative AI that runs off your desktop's hardware or your laptop's hardware. That's new. That's different. That's a new feature. That's a new demand that's placed on the computer. And over time, these new demands stack up. And people say, well, my computer gets slower over time. Most of the time, your computer works the exact same speed it did when the day you got it. It's just that the demand has gone up so much that your hardware can't keep up with it. Your hardware stays the same. The demand on the hardware goes up. It's just like when your boss comes in and fires half the staff and expects the same amount of work to get done with half as many people. Completely reasonable, right? And he wonders why everyone's working late and doesn't come to the Christmas party. Grumpy, right? Your computer does the same thing. So when you get a holiday special, guys, you are forestalling the date. that computer is going to be rendered obsolete because it can't do things. If you buy a computer that you expect to last you 10 years, which the holiday special is documented to last more than 10 years for many customers, you're buying a computer one time. You buy the basic computer, you're buying it 2 or 3 times in the same 10-year period. So, are you saving money? You're paying for data transfers and migrations and coming and going and driving and picking up and dropping off and setting up and reinstalling and doing all this heartache stuff that you don't have to do if you just do it right the first time. That's the holiday special in a nutshell. 888-250-2091. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, iOS introduced a new feature with iOS 17 called Name Drop. And law enforcement agencies almost immediately issued a warning to parents about name drop. We're going to go into what this name drop feature is, how it works, and if you should be concerned about it for your kids coming up next on Compute This.
Computers and storage to give every man, woman, and child in the U.S. an old, outdated, and useless computer system. Obsolete tablets and smartphones are nearly as bad. Most people know not to throw them into the landfill where they leak and contaminate, but it's hard to find a place to safely recycle electronics. That's why Schrock Innovations offers free recycling for computers, laptops, phones, tablets, cords, and accessories. In fact, only monitors and printers have a small recycling fee. Everything else is free. More importantly, Schrock will securely delete any data from your devices and hard drives before they are sent to a certified recycling partner who will then repeat the wiping process just to be safe. When you recycle your old technology at Schrock, you know your identity and privacy are protected and your equipment is being actually recycled by a certified recycling partner. Schrock is proud to recycle more e-waste than we produce annually, making a positive difference to our economy and ecology. Do your part by dropping your old gear at any Schrock service center and be part of the area's largest and most popular technology recycling program with Schrock Innovations.
Schrock Innovations repair technicians also make house calls. Make an appointment and let us bring our award-winning computer support right to your home or business.
You would probably rather drink the water at Camp Lejeune than get another call about the desperate need to renew your car's expiring warranty. Who actually responds to those calls? Everyone wants to play the warranty game where you pay money now just in case you need service later that everyone hopes you won't need or use. It's such a waste. It's no different with computers. Major manufacturers' warranties have more subscript crosses than a Sunday morning church service. Batteries are exempt. Hard drives must be completely dead and forget about anything that they can remotely claim as physical damage. That's why Schrock warranties are different. When you purchase a modular PC or a solid-state laptop and extend your warranty, we offer a no-risk money-back guarantee. If you need the warranty, we'll be thrilled to have it. If you don't use it, we refund your money automatically every time. That's right, we are so confident in the quality of our products that our extended warranties are refundable. Many Schrock customers use their refunds to purchase another warranty or pocket the savings and move on. We all know you'll need it to cover that expiring car warranty anyway. Schrock's refundable extended warranties. Just another way the Schrock Innovations Computer Company makes your computer work for you.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Thanks for joining us live at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where we are broadcasting live over there as well. All kinds of comments there, and I don't know, the audio gods are just not with me, I guess. So apparently, Roger, the studio feed is going through on Facebook rather than like the microphone feed. So my guess is that callers aren't going through on Facebook. And it's something I did over here, and I'll have to figure it. Aaron, I just heard Roger's chair squeaking. That chair is going to be famous. We're going to have to get a plaque, some studs, and screw that right on there. All right, 402-558-1110 is the number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. There's this thing that came out, and we posted. If you follow us on Facebook, you may have seen the news article. Basically, when iOS 17 came out, Apple released a new feature called Name Drop. And what it allows your devices to do, whether it's your Apple Watch or your iPhone, if you hold the two devices in proximity to each other, it exchanges contact information. and adds each of you to each other's contact list. So that way you can very easily, like at a business networking event, for example, hold the devices together and, trade contact information. Right? It makes sense. Soon after that was released, some police departments began posting on social media warnings to parents saying, hey, watch out. This is a way that predators could steal your children's contact information. All they have to do is get within proximity to your kid's phone, and they could steal their contact information. So I'm trying to imagine now. Okay, predator guy is going down the street, and he says, hey, there's a kid there. And he walks up to the kid and stands like really close to the kid, because you have to get the phones like an inch apart. So he stands like really close to the kid. Maybe his phone is in his pocket and the kid's phone is in the kid's pocket, and he stands like pocket to pocket. Maybe they're at Disneyland or something, and it's a crowd. I don't know. They're standing really close together, and the phone trades contact information. And then later he reaches out and contacts the kid because he's a predator guy. That was what was being communicated by these warnings. Watch out, parents. Your children's contact information could be stolen by people that you wouldn't want contacting them. So we decided to look into it, Compute This, and find out, is this really something that is a big concern? Is this something parents should be aware of? We shared the story because when law enforcement issues a warning on social media, you want to share that, right? You want to make sure that you're aware that the world around you and the risks and the threats that are out there. So look into it. I have an Android phone, so I wasn't able to actually name drop anything myself. But when I look into the feature and how Apple designed it, I have to say, I think those law enforcement warnings are a little overzealous, perhaps. So basically, for name drop to work, first of all, you have to, as I mentioned, have the phones really close to each other, like an inch apart, or a watch and a phone, like an inch apart. Then what happens is both phones will vibrate, indicating that a connection has been made. So your phone vibrates. What's the first thing a teenage kid does when their phone vibrates? They stick their hand in their pocket, they pull it out, right? Well, that connection's broken. You're more than an inch away. Okay, so the phones vibrate. And then on the screen, you have to confirm that you want the connection to send. So it's not just automatic. It doesn't just happen. So then you have to tap on the screen that you want to send predator guy your contact information. And then the exchange happens. And then you're added to each other's contacts. So I have to say, I think it might be a little overzealous that law enforcement is warning parents that you should disable name drop on your Apple device because someone could steal your kid's identity or information or whatever. Oh, and the other thing is that the name drop feature does not work if the iPhone is locked. So how when you're not using your phone, your face unlocks it, your passcode unlocks it, your fingerprint unlocks it. There's lots of ways to unlock your phone. If your phone is locked, meaning it's in your pocket and not being used, name drop doesn't even work. So you have to have the phone unlocked to even utilize name drop. So the chances of a poor, unassuming Ute sending their contact information accidentally to a predator guy is pretty non-existent, honestly. So if your kids have been begging to use the name drop feature and you've been insisting on turning it off under the advice of law enforcement, my official opinion on it is name drop is a pretty well-designed product that has a very it has a good use case. I don't think it's a risk to kids. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. Steve, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today? No problem. Thank you, Steve. Gotcha. So first of all, the hard deadline is October 25th of 2025. So you've got a year and a half or almost 2 years. So it's nothing you have to do, this Thursday or anything. So you got plenty of time. But those warnings from Microsoft are going to become more and more insistent, or those invitations will become more and more insistent until they start doing some fun stuff like reversing the options, like click cancel to continue. Yeah, then that's always the case. They always say stuff like that, and there's always rumors that that's going to happen. But honestly, at this point, they want everybody off Windows 10. They're not going to throw a barrier up from going from Windows 10 to Windows 11. They have thrown a barrier up for going from Windows 7 to Windows 10, however. That is no longer an upgrade path. So you can't do that anymore, and you can't go directly from 7 to 11. So if because your hardware is too old. So if you have a Windows 10 computer and you can go to Windows 11, I understand the hesitancy because Windows 8 was such a nightmare. It was a nightmare for everybody. And then it was so bad they released 8.1 within 3 months. And 8.1 was a whole new operating system. It's a whole different OS. It was ridiculous. So I understand the hesitancy to upgrade, to Windows from Windows 10 to Windows 11. With that said, I've been running Windows 11 now for, since it came out, honestly, because I needed to know it well so I could talk it on the radio. And there are some things that are different about it, like when you right-click on something to get options, instead of having your cut and your paste all there listed in a text-based menu, there are little icons in there. When you open up Notepad, Notepad has tabs like a browser now. So if you just close Notepad and you open it up next time, it remembers everything you typed before and it puts it all back up there on the screen. So there are little small things that are differences, but the thing that I'm enjoying with Windows 11 is the fact that all the new technology that's coming out seamlessly just works with it. And Microsoft has been doing a really phenomenal job of integrating new features and technologies. For example, the Copilot technology I was talking about. I'm not I don't sit and spend all day talking to ChatGPT. I've done it a few times because it was fun and interesting, and you use it for specific tasks sometimes. But this is one of the things that we're going to see in probably the next year to 2 years. They're calling it Edge AI, where not Edge like the browser, but Edge, in other words, AI that runs based on your device's computing power, which is one of the reasons why I'm telling you don't buy a regular computer, buy a holiday special, because the demands on your regular device's computing power for basic tasks are going to go through the roof in the next 2 years. Now, the reason for that is that this edge computing, it allows your device to handle all the AI requests. It offloads the heavy processing to online servers, but the stuff that's going to be local, your location data, your personal information, all the stuff that would be a privacy risk to store online for you is going to be stored locally on your device. And then your local AI agent running on your local device has access to both the processing power of the internet and the local data that's not shared on the internet. So it's almost like a perfect blend, assuming that everyone executes it on the level. It's a perfect blend of privacy and new features and functionality. The things our computers are going to be doing for us in the next 5 years, we can't even imagine them right now. So I guess what I'm telling you is if you want to dabble in that new technology and be a part of that as it comes out, you really need to have Windows 11. If you're cool with Windows 10, you can sit and be kosher pickles until 2025. One of the things to remember for Windows 10 is there are lots of new advanced security features in Windows 11, especially anti-ransomware features in Windows 11 that are not present in Windows 10 and will not become present in Windows 10. Microsoft's doing no more feature upgrades, no more new stuff for Windows 10, just patches until 2025. So literally, if you want, not even the latest, greatest cutting edge technology, but if you want current security technology, you really should be on Windows 11. Yeah, absolutely. We can help you with that. The other thing that's nice too, do you use Android or Apple? Okay, and so if you used Android, one of the things for Android users that Apple users have loved forever is if you have a Mac and you have an iPhone and you have an iPad, well, they're all unified devices. You can message from all of them. You can take calls on all of them. They all work together. And Microsoft has introduced that same feature now with Windows 11 for the PC and Android. where they can be unified devices and all work together. So you can make calls from your computer if you wanted to. You can answer text messages on your computer screen. It's really nice, actually. So, yeah, we could absolutely help you out with syncing calendars and things like that. Not a problem at all. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate the call. 402-558-1110. It's that easy, guys. See, ask a question. We'll get you on the air and get you into that $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Steve's a shoe-in right now. If you want to reduce his chances of winning, you can give us a call as well. We've got to take a break. We're a little late here, but when we come back, guys, I want to tell you about a brand new security update that was pushed last week for Google Chrome that you, even if you don't use Chrome, you need to make sure you've got this installed on your computer. We're going to tell you what's going on coming up next on Compute This.
Don't just suddenly happen. Most failures usually start out as small issues with few or no symptoms.
Guys, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, why I've got a studio mic, and I'm plugged in. Everything is plugged in, and I've got levels here, but I'm pulling audio from the studio from the webcam for some reason. So I'm not exactly sure why this is happening, and I'm not sure I can troubleshoot it while I'm live on the air. So luckily, we've had one caller, now another one's coming in. So there's not a ton of callers, but I'll try to summarize what the caller is saying naturally as I'm talking so that you guys can get an idea of what's going on. Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm looking at my OBS here, and it's telling me, yeah, it's studio. It's studio mic. I'm trying to think. And the only way I can kill that is to kill the camera, and if I kill the camera, I lose the feed. So we're just going to have to struggle. We'll struggle bust through this one, guys. It'll be the fastest aftershock ever, though, right? We can just go right into it, maybe. How about that? All right. Oh, goodness.
Update all of your third-party apps on your computer with Secure Updater. It keeps all your apps running
Secure Updater.
and helps block viruses.
We're going to talk about it.
Excellent.
I know, right? Aren't you excited? I think your chair's excited.
So excited, paralyzed.
Paralyzed with excitement. What am I going to do next? What is that from? The KFAB flag.
That's 75 years old.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at it thinking.
We hung it. I've seen pictures where instead of like mic flags,
Yeah.
they'd be at news conferences and stations that were there would hang their flag.
See, I've got one of those mic flag things, like for Compute This, and Kim was going to do the wrap on it, like make it a Compute This thing, Schrock Innovations. But then I'm like, do I just leave it here all the time? Or do I take it off and take it with me and then put it back on,
Yeah,
Because those things are cheap now. You can get them for like $4 online. The little plastic ones, the triangles.
Yeah.
And they go right around the
But they're
microphone
blank
here.
right now, right?
What's that?
If you want something printed.
Well, then you print vinyl with your cutter thing.
Okay.
The lovely Kimberly,
That's
she bought a nutcracker, like a 6 or 7 foot tall nutcracker from Walmart for like $100, and it's a plastic nutcracker and it's completely plain. This is aftershock material. I'm just wasting it here, right? It's completely plain. She painted the whole nutcracker. She gave birth to a nutcracker.
Wow.
That was crazy. Alrighty, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock. I'm still the owner of Schrock Innovations, and you're still listening to Compute This, but not for much longer. But don't fear. When the show is over, the fun will continue at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where you can take part in the Aftershock, where all the stupid stuff that's in my head that can't get out on the air here, we'll talk about it during the Aftershock, and you can ask any questions you want, and we'll go in whatever direction the world takes us. I have promised the lovely Kimberly that I will keep it to an hour or less this week, because she's got stuff going on. She calls it a rapper party, and the lovely Kimberly has a sweater called Gangsta Rapper, and it's wrapper like wrapping paper. And so all the ladies come over with their Christmas gifts, and they have a wrapping party, and they all wrap their presents together, right? They eat cookies and stuff. But yeah, there could be some beverages. I'm not sure. I'm not invited. I'm on kid duty, which is why I can't stay long for the aftershock. I have to be on kid duty. There's a charcuterie tree.
Charcuterie?
No, charcuterie tree.
Oh.
It's a tree with charcuterie stuff on it, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, she comes up with the craziest stuff. 402-558-1110. Does anybody else have that happen to, like at the holidays? You end up like, what is that? That is so crazy. 888-250-2091. This last week, guys, you may obviously you heard the sounders during the commercial break there for Secure Updater. Many of you know what Secure Updater is. Most of you are subscribers to Secure Updater. Secure Updater is a program, for those of you who are new to the show, that runs in the background on your computer. And when there's an update for a major program, like Google Chrome, for example, it will automatically download that to your computer and install it silently in the background. It checks every 8 hours for updates. Why is that important? When you get this update for Google Chrome, there are many of you who probably still don't. If you don't have Secure Updater, there's many of you that probably still don't have the update installed for Google Chrome, for a lot of different reasons. But these updates can take up to 2 weeks to push out. And right now, there's a 0-day vulnerability that was discovered late last week that allows a bad guy through Google Chrome to do random code execution on your device. So that means using Google Chrome, they can run whatever program they want. They can infect you with ransomware, and all you have to do is go to a website. So we're talking, this is old school stuff. You know, you go onto Google, you put a website up for a search term that's popular, then all of a sudden let's say what's people talking about in the news right now? You could put up a web page about the war in Gaza. You could put up a web page about Hunter Biden's indictments. You could put up a page about whatever's going on in the world about have you heard Alex Jones is going to be allowed back on Twitter? InfoWars is back on Twitter. You can put up web pages about this and articles. And as they rank in Google, once they get to the #1 spot, then they switch the content, throw the injection content in there, and then it takes Google, a day, 2 days to figure out that search result is infecting people's computers, and then they knock it out. But for those 2 days, if you're using Google Chrome, that's a lot of ransomware infections. That's a lot of money that Iran can make, infecting your computer with ransomware. So it's important to get these patches installed quickly, because even if you have great antivirus like Sophos, my dad used to have a saying when he was alive, and he'd said that sometimes you just got to keep the honest people honest. And what he meant was, don't invite trouble. If don't leave your valuables on the seat of the car with the door unlocked. Don't do stupid stuff that would lead people to make poor decisions, poor criminal decisions. So, sometimes you just got to keep the honest people honest. Lock the doors, do that stuff. Sometimes it's better to have best security practices to prevent something from even touching your system than relying on your cyber defenses to accurately hit it every time and knock it out of the sky. Kind of like with Israel and their Iron Dome system. You have a 90+% interception rate. That is just technologically phenomenal, that they can knock down mortar shells and things like that in the air 90% effectively. But that means 10% get through. Now, luckily, with Sophos antivirus, the number is a lot lower of stuff that gets through than 10%. But still, why not keep the honest people honest and install the patches you need? That's what Secure Updater does, but it does it every 8 hours. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to do anything with it. It just installs the patches. And literally, Secure Updater, it costs $30 a year. A year. So it's not even like for $1 a day you could save children in Africa. No, this is like $30 a year. This is like $1, $3, $2 a month, $2.50 a month. It's ridiculous to get that level of protection. And even if you don't have Sophos, if you don't have our antivirus, Secure Updater works with any antivirus you have to increase the effectiveness of that antivirus. Well, the reason I'm telling you all this is because there was a huge update for Google Chrome that will allow these bad guys to do this kind of thing with your computer. So number one, if you have Secure Updater, you don't got to do anything. You're done. You're safe. You were safe last week. I even sent a message to Trenton in the Omaha Service Center. He manages the Secure Updater team, basically, to make sure everything gets updated. And I said, hey, there was a major update for Google Chrome. I want to talk about it on the radio. I need to make sure Secure Updater has this and it's out, because we were inside of 8 hours at the time. Yeah, I was already too late. My computer already, he was like, have you checked your computer yet, Thor? And I was like, no, it was just easier to send you a text. He said, it's already been done. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Trenton. Thank you. He checked just to make sure, nope, there's no more updates. We're current on the version. So anyway, everything is kosher pickles if you've got Secure Updater. But if you don't have Secure Updater, make sure that you've got the most recent version of Google Chrome running on your computer. It's really easy to do that. Basically there's those 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner. You just go into settings. You click on that. You go into settings, and you can check for a software update. Check for a software update. Make sure that your Google Chrome is current so that you're safe from this potential nasty threat. 402-558-1110. 888-250-2091. Craig, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This? Good morning. Thank you. How many breaks do I need to take? How many breaks? Do we have 2 left or just 1?
Just one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Just yeah. 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 We do. That's a great question. So yeah, basically, the aftershock sometimes ventures into territories that YouTube might label mis or disinformation, if you know what I mean. So sometimes we talk about masks, for example, or vaccine efficacy or things, whatever's on everybody's mind. So basically, we don't want to get banned from YouTube. We got a strike a while back. I'm like, we don't want to lose that part. From an SEO perspective, it's very important to be on YouTube. So we only post the aftershock on Rumble. So basically, after the show is done, if you go to SchrockInnovations.com, you can click on Radio Show, and not only is the Compute This shows are there, but the Aftershocks are there as well, and they're all posted to our Rumble channel. So if nothing else, you can go search Schrock Innovations on Rumble, and you'll pop up on our channel there. And they let anything go on Rumble, so we post everything there. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Craig. Merry Christmas. Have a great day. All right, Larry, how can I help you on Compute This today? Merry Christmas. Yeah. All right. Okay. Gotcha. Right. Okay, so there's a couple things. First of all, be careful with defragmenting, because depending on how old your laptop is, if it was a little bit older, it may have a mechanical hard drive. And defragmentation does help speed up mechanical hard drives. But all modern computers come with solid-state hard drives. Defragmentation actually damages solid-state hard drives. So you don't want to do that. It gives you no benefit whatsoever, and it's an immense amount of wear and tear on the drive. So if you have a solid-state drive, you never defrag. And the computer will automatically turn that feature off if you have a solid-state hard drive. If you have a mechanical drive, defragmenting, 6 days is nothing. You should do it every 6 months or so. Basically what defragmenting does is your hard drive doesn't put all the files in a straight line everywhere. And because a mechanical hard drive has physical arms that move over rotating disks, those heads take time to traverse back and forth to read files. So if the file was all in one contiguous line, it could be read a lot more efficiently than if the drive has to jump around all over the place. And we're talking about nanoseconds of response time. But if you have enough jumps, nanoseconds can add up to be seconds. And so by defragmenting, you're getting rid of all the interruptions in the file. You're putting it all in a nice straight line so that the computer can read it easily and quickly. So for a mechanical hard drive, once a month is way more than adequate. Once every 6 months is probably as far as I would push it. On a solid-state hard drive, there is no advantage to defragmenting at all. It does not do anything. In fact, it puts additional wear and tear on your hard drive that will cause it to fail more quickly. No worries. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Have a great afternoon. All righty, guys. 402-558-1110, 888-250-2091. All right, so oh, everyone is texting me, telling me that on the Facebook feed there's an ear-piercing squeal happening. And I was like, oh, shoot, I'll just unplug this microphone that's not working. Maybe there's something really weird going on, so I unplugged it. And then Brian says it quit now. Maybe it was just Roger's chair. Somebody else said Roger's chair needs a Facebook page or like a Twitter account of its own, like at Roger's chair. All right, guys, we're going to take our final break of the program. Thanks for sticking with us today. When we come back, the last topic we want to talk about today, and I know a lot of you are going to say this doesn't apply to you, this is not important to you, but you are going to hear in the news a lot in the next 100 days about cryptocurrency. It's going to become like a top 10 topic on financial programs. People are going to there's going to be a Bitcoin craze again for the next 100 days or so. And I want you to know what's happening. I've talked about this on the Aftershock a little bit, so we're not going to get into the weeds on what a cryptocurrency is and how it works and how you should invest in all, or should you invest, nothing like that. I just want you to know what the narrative is, what you're going to hear in the mainstream media, and what the truth is, what's actually happening. And so that way you don't get swept up into a mania that maybe that's not right for you. We saw that happen the last time Bitcoin ran up to like $70,000, which I think is in the cards again in the near future. I want you to know what's going on so that you can decide how to handle it properly. And also, we're going to tie this briefly into central bank digital currencies. A lot of people don't know the difference between a cryptocurrency and a central bank digital currency. They think they might be the same thing, or they might both be pieces of trash that nobody should have anything to do with. We're going to break it all down for you in simple terms coming up next on Compute This.
Solid-state laptops are engineered locally for speed and reliability you just can't get from the major national brands. Each of our laptops starts off with an Asus SSD. Remove soft drives and memory.
Well, I mean, I don't know why. That wasn't Roger's chair making a painful squealing noise. If Roger's chair was making a painful squealing noise, Roger would have kicked it out the door. So, but, yeah, so I'm not sure. I am not honestly sure what the heck is going on, but I will definitely spend some time before the next show checking it out, because I did everything right this time. It wasn't on me. This is my microphone plug. I'm plugged in right here to audio. I've got a level. And my computer, for whatever reason, decided to use the camera feed instead of the regular level feed. Not sure why. But I guess you get a little inside baseball content now. You get to hear me ask Roger, how many breaks do I have to take, Roger? When, of course, on the radio, everyone assumes I'm attentively listening, you know. Like, I'm not listening. I'm making eye contact with Roger, waiting for him to look up. Like, Roger, how many breaks do I need to take? And Roger's like, wait, what? So, yeah, it'll be fun times. So, I don't know. Be thinking about what you want to talk about on the Aftershock, because I don't honestly have a ton of new stuff this week to talk about. I've got a couple stories. I'll tell you about my back blowing out. Yeah, I'm sitting here, but I'm not comfortable, but I'm not in pain either, which is a weird sensation. Yeah, fun times. You decide to get healthy, and then your body just says, oh, what the heck are you doing? Fun times.
You'll have 4 minutes to music.
4 minutes? All right.
5 minutes total.
Well, we got no callers, so that's different.
Right.
Usually when we have 4 minutes at the end of the program, I end up with like 15 callers, and we're trying to squeeze them all in, and we're cutting them off at the end. I don't like doing that.
Do you want to block them?
Yeah, there's no point at this point.
Okay.
We'll need a winner. Yes, that's right. We need a winner. We need a winner to call into the program, 402-558-1110, so you can win yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. All righty, guys. Final segment of the program today. Stay tuned afterwards. Facebook.com/Schrock Innovations for the After Schrock, where we'll talk about all kinds of other crazy stuff from the week. You can ask questions about what's going on in your life, and I'll do my best to answer any of those questions that I feel even remotely qualified to answer, and probably some that I'm completely unqualified to answer as well. one of the things that you're going to hear about, and it's already happening. I was listening to Fox Business the other day, and in the first 5 minutes of Stuart Varney's program, when this week we had financial news on all kinds of things. There was inflation data, there was jobs data, there was manufacturing data, there was all kinds of things to talk about. For the first 5 minutes on his program, Stuart Varney talked about Bitcoin. He talked about Bitcoin rallying, Bitcoin holding its gains. What is going on with Bitcoin? Charles Payne, welcome to the program. How many Bitcoin do you own, Charles? And then I realized I owned more Bitcoin than Charles Payne, and I thought, heck yeah. Yeah, I'm doing good. Then, this other guy comes on. I forget his name. He's some investor guy. He always wears a cow jacket, it's like cow patches and stuff, and Western frill on it. How many Bitcoin do you own? And he's asking everybody about how much Bitcoin they own. Stuart Varney. And you're like, if Stuart Varney, who called crypto a gambling chit not 6 months ago, is asking people how much Bitcoin they own, and did you get in on this craze? Something is happening, right? So the price of Bitcoin has rallied significantly over the last week. It will probably continue to do so for another 100 days, 120-ish days, something like that. And then it's going to drop precipitously again. Why do I know this? Did Thorstradamus come down and tell me this from the mountain? No. This is history, guys. This happens every single time that there's an event in the Bitcoin world called the halvening. So, in layman's terms, every 4 or 5 years or so, Bitcoin gets half as profitable to mine. This is how the Bitcoin network deals with inflation. You can't inflate Bitcoin. The longer Bitcoin is in use, the harder it becomes to mint new Bitcoin, and eventually it will become impossible to mint new Bitcoin, and that's going to be years and years in the future. And when that happens, there will be no more Bitcoin. It will just be the Bitcoin in circulation. So when the halvening happens, understand that there's an entire economy behind Bitcoin that you're not aware of. The miners, people who confirm transactions on the network and get paid to do it, that generates new Bitcoin in their pockets that they can then spend into the economy. The miners buy equipment to mine Bitcoin. They buy specialized computers to mine the Bitcoin. Those computers have a speed. They run at, let's just say, X miles an hour. So if I have a computer that runs at 100 miles an hour making me Bitcoin, when the halvening happens, suddenly that computer is going to use the same amount of power, make the same amount of noise, generate the same amount of heat, but it's only going to generate half as much Bitcoin. So therefore, unless the price of Bitcoin doubles, that piece of equipment is rendered obsolete and needs to be retired. Okay? So now you're talking about guys that have warehouses full of these pieces of equipment running all day long. We're talking thousands of Bitcoin miners running all day, 24/7. What they are doing right now is they are selling their Bitcoin miners right now, and they're buying the new ones that are coming out that are more powerful. And what's going to happen is the price of Bitcoin goes up. We're going to see a mania kind of hit again, where everyone's going to be like, I need to get in on this. Should I buy Bitcoin? Should I mine Bitcoin? What should I do? How should I do this? Know that that's going to last right up until a month or so before the halvening. It'll start to slip. The hopium will keep it up there a little bit for a while, but it'll start to slip. Then after the halvening happens, when everyone's like, well, now Bitcoin has to be double the price or it's not cost effective, the price will fall off a cliff. And that's how that works. Then what will happen over the next 2 years after that, the price of Bitcoin will slowly climb again. How is this different than a central bank digital currency? Completely different. Central bank digital currencies are made by governments, and it's used as a surveillance tool to watch everything you do with your cryptocurrency on a ledger, so that the government can control your currency completely. Bitcoin, yes, it's a public ledger, but it also has a little more freedom involved in it. So it's a completely different thing. Craig, congratulations. You won yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. We'll get that out to you on Monday. Stay tuned for the After Schrock, and we'll see you all next week. All righty, guys. So I've been thinking about this, and I think I need to end this broadcast and begin another one, just to make sure that they're separated. If I have one video file, I can't post one on YouTube and post one on Rumble. I have to post it everywhere or go through editing. So I'm going to end the broadcast and start a new one here pretty much within the next 2 minutes. So sit tight. We'll be right back.